Unlocking the fifth dimension, a new way of experiencing reality. What if I told you that the reality you've been taught is just a small part of a much bigger picture? That beyond the physical world, beyond our thoughts and emotions, there exists a higher level of existence, the fifth dimension. You may have heard of it in spiritual discussions, but today we're going deeper. We'll explore what the fifth dimension truly is, how it operates, and most importantly, how you can align with its energy to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like there's something more? Not just more success, more happiness, or more meaning, but a deeper truth, something just out of reach, yet undeniably real. If you've ever had that feeling, that pull towards something greater, you're already sensing the energy of the fifth dimension. What is the fifth dimension? Let's start with what it's not. The fifth dimension isn't a physical place you can travel to. It's not some futuristic paradise where all problems vanish. Instead, it's a shift in consciousness, a different way of experiencing reality. In our everyday third-dimensional world, we live with limitations, duality, fear, separation. We see ourselves as individuals, disconnected from everything else. But in the fifth dimension, the energy shifts. It moves from me to we, from struggle to flow, from illusion to truth. Imagine peeling back layers of an onion. With each spiritual law we uncover, we get closer to understanding what it really means to exist in this higher state. But here's the challenge. To fully embrace the fifth dimension, you must first unlearn the conditioning of the third. The first law of the fifth dimension, the law of unity. At its core, the law of unity reveals that there is no separation between you and the world around you. Every person, every experience, every moment is deeply interconnected, like individual drops of water in a vast ocean. It's easy to say we are all one, but do we truly live that way? In the third dimension, we see others as separate from us. Their thoughts, emotions, and actions seem unrelated to our own. But in the fifth dimension, there is no other. Every thought you have ripples outward, affecting everything. Every act of kindness or cruelty influences the collective. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the energy of the people inside? Have you ever thought about someone, only for them to call you moments later? These aren't random coincidences. They are glimpses into the interconnected reality of the fifth dimension. The law of unity teaches us that our inner world creates our outer world. If you carry resentment, fear, or judgment, those energies will show up in your relationships and experiences. But when you embody love, compassion, and understanding, the world around you mirrors that back to you. So, how do you align with this law? Start by observing your judgments. When you catch yourself labeling someone as good or bad, pause. Instead of reacting, ask yourself, what is this person teaching me about myself? This simple shift in perspective can dissolve the illusion of separation and bring you closer to the truth of unity. The second law, the law of vibration. Everything in the universe is energy, vibrating at different frequencies. In the third dimension, we rely on our five senses to interpret the world, but they only perceive a small fraction of reality. The fifth dimension exists at a much higher frequency, where thoughts, emotions, and intentions hold immense creative power. The energy you emit, your vibration, determines the reality you experience. You've probably noticed how some people seem to brighten a room, while others drain the energy around them. That's vibration in action. If your mind is filled with fear, anger, or scarcity, your vibration lowers, and you attract experiences that match that frequency. But when you choose gratitude, love, and joy, you raise your vibration and align yourself with the energy of the fifth dimension. Here's a simple way to shift your frequency. Practice gratitude daily. Not just as a quick thought, but as a deeply felt emotion. Close your eyes and think about something or someone you appreciate. Feel the warmth, the connection, the abundance. This simple act rewires your energy, raising your vibration instantly, aligning with the fifth dimension. When you start living in alignment with these laws, you'll begin to notice subtle yet powerful shifts. You'll find yourself at the right place at the right time, meeting people who inspire you, attracting opportunities that once seemed out of reach. Life will start to flow in a way that feels effortless and natural. But this alignment isn't random. It's a result of the energy you're putting out. The universe constantly responds to your vibration. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align with higher frequencies, you create a reality that reflects that energy back to you. Take a moment to reflect. Are your thoughts and emotions aligned with what you want to attract? How can you shift your focus to create more harmony in your life? What patterns keep appearing in your reality? And what are they trying to teach you? The path to the fifth dimension isn't about escaping this world. It's about transforming how you experience it. It's about shifting from fear to love, from struggle to flow, from separation to unity. And as you continue on this journey, you'll begin to see the truth. The power to shape your reality has always been within you. Raising your vibration, aligning with the fifth dimension. Gratitude is more than just a positive feeling. It's a shift in energy. It could be the warmth of the sun on your skin, the laughter of a loved one, or simply the fact that you're alive and breathing. When you take a moment to focus on something you appreciate, your energy naturally changes. This isn't just a mental exercise. It's a vibrational reset that brings you into alignment with the higher frequencies of the fifth dimension. But let's go even deeper. If everything is energy, then everything carries a vibrational signature. The words you speak, the thoughts you think, the food you eat. Every choice you make is either raising your vibration or lowering it. So ask yourself, are my daily habits bringing me into alignment with higher consciousness or pulling me further away? Your awareness of this alone can be a powerful guide. The law of flow. Moving with life instead of resisting it. One of the most profound shifts that occur when you step into the fifth dimension is the way you relate to life's challenges. In the third dimension, we are conditioned to resist, to fight, to push against what we don't like. But in the fifth dimension, resistance dissolves. Life unfolds effortlessly, like a river flowing toward the ocean. This doesn't mean problems suddenly disappear. What changes is your perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, you recognize them as stepping stones. Every challenge holds a lesson. Every setback redirects you to something greater. When you embrace this truth, you stop fighting life. And that's when true alignment begins. Think about a time in your life when everything just seemed to work out effortlessly. When the right people, opportunities, and resources appeared exactly when you needed them. That wasn't luck or coincidence. That was flow. In the fifth dimension, these synchronicities become a natural part of your existence. So how do you step into flow? By surrendering. And that's where most people struggle. We're wired to crave control, to cling to expectations. But here's the paradox. The more you try to control, the more resistance you create. When you let go, trust the process, and allow things to unfold naturally, the universe responds in ways beyond what you could have planned. Take a moment to reflect. Where in my life am I holding on too tightly? What would happen if I simply let go? The law of truth. Living authentically in the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is a realm of authenticity. Illusions, facades, and masks cannot exist here. To live in this higher state, you must align with your deepest truth, the essence of who you are, beyond the roles you play or the expectations placed upon you. But here's the challenge. The truth often threatens the ego. It asks you to strip away the layers of identity you've built for years. This process can feel uncomfortable, even painful, because it requires letting go of who you thought you were to become who you truly are. The fifth dimension calls you to step into your power, but not the kind of power rooted in control or dominance. This is the power of being unapologetically yourself, of living from a place of honesty, integrity, and inner knowing. So ask yourself, am I living my truth, or am I living a version of myself that pleases others? If you're unsure, take a moment to sit in silence. Listen, your soul is always speaking, always guiding you. You just have to tune in. How the fifth dimension transforms reality. Now that we've explored the fundamental spiritual laws, unity, vibration, flow, and truth, it's time to go deeper into how these principles change the way you experience life. The fifth dimension isn't just a theory or an abstract idea. It's a state of being that challenges the very structure of what you believe to be real. And one of the biggest shifts you'll experience is in your perception of time. The illusion of time, breaking free from linear thinking. In the third dimension, time feels rigid and linear. The past is something that has already happened. The present is what's happening now. And the future is yet to unfold. But in the fifth dimension, this understanding of time dissolves. Time is no longer a straight line. It's fluid, more like an ocean than a ticking clock. Past, present, and future exists simultaneously. And what you do in this moment has the power to shift not only your future, but even your past. Healing the past through the present. Imagine this, you're carrying emotional pain from something that happened years ago. a memory that still lingers, a wound that never quite healed. In the third dimension, you might believe that moment is fixed, that it's over and done with, and all you can do now is manage the emotions it left behind. But in the fifth dimension, that memory isn't just a past event, it's energy, and energy can be changed. Right now, in this very moment, you have the ability to shift the vibration of that experience. By bringing love, forgiveness, and understanding to that past version of yourself, you alter the energy surrounding that event. This doesn't just change how you feel about the past. It literally shifts the timeline of how it continues to influence your present and future. The law of presence. The only moment that exists is now. In the fifth dimension, the present moment is everything. When you fully immerse yourself in the now, you tap into infinite possibilities. You become aware that the past no longer holds power over you, and that the future is not something to chase. It unfolds naturally from the energy you cultivate in this moment. Presence is the key to aligning with higher frequencies. When you focus on what's happening right now, without distractions or worries, you unlock a state of flow where miracles happen effortlessly. Stepping into the fifth dimension. Living in the fifth dimension doesn't mean escaping this world. It means experiencing it in a new way, one that is rooted in unity, guided by vibration, flowing effortlessly, and anchored in truth. Take a moment to reflect. Where in your life are you resisting instead of flowing? What aspects of your past need healing? Are you living authentically, or are you wearing a mask? As you begin to integrate these higher truths, you'll start to notice profound shifts. Synchronicities will increase. Manifestations will happen faster. Life will begin to feel lighter, more fluid, more connected. Because the universe isn't something outside of you, it's a reflection of you. And when you align with its flow, you don't just change your life, you change the very fabric of reality itself. Mastering the present, the key to the fifth dimension. The past and future are not fixed. They are reflections of the energy you hold right now. Imagine shining a beam of light through a prism. That light breaks into infinite colors, influencing both the past and future at the same time. This is how reality works at higher dimensions. The present moment is not just where life happens, it's where reality is shaped. When you master presence, you take control of your reality. You're no longer a prisoner of past regrets or future worries. You become the creator of what is. But ask yourself, how often are you truly present? How much of your time is spent dwelling on the past or worrying about what's to come? The third dimension thrives on distraction. It keeps you trapped in old stories and thoughts of what could have been or what might go wrong. To align with the fifth dimension, you must break free from this cycle and train yourself to be fully anchored in the now. Start small. The next time you feel your mind drifting, bring your attention back to your breath. Feel the air entering your lungs. Notice the beat of your heart. Sense the ground beneath your feet. These simple acts of awareness are your gateway to presence and to the higher frequencies of the fifth dimension. The shift in manifestation. Effort versus alignment. Another profound difference between the third and fifth dimensions is how manifestation works. In the third dimension, manifestation is seen as a process of effort. You set a goal, take action, and work hard to achieve it. But in the fifth dimension, manifestation operates at an entirely different frequency. Here, there is no gap between thought and experience. What you are internally is instantly reflected externally. Your inner world is your outer world. At first, this might sound unrealistic, even magical, but think about it. Have you already experienced moments where your thoughts seemed to materialize instantly? Perhaps you were thinking of a friend, and they suddenly called you. Maybe you were envisioning an opportunity, and it appeared in your life soon after. These are not coincidences. They are glimpses into how the fifth dimension operates. The key is to understand that the universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. If your energy is filled with lack, fear, or doubt, you will attract situations that reinforce those feelings. But if you embody abundance, love, and trust, before they appear in your external reality, you will start to attract experiences that match those higher vibrations. This is why inner work is essential. You're not chasing your desires, you're becoming them. Ask yourself, what am I broadcasting to the universe right now? Are my thoughts, emotions, and actions aligned with the reality I wish to create? If not, what needs to shift within me? These are the kinds of questions that open the door to higher dimensional living. Dissolving the ego, shifting beyond external identity. A major shift in the fifth dimension is the dissolution of ego-based identity. In the third dimension, much of who you believe yourself to be is tied to external labels, your job, your relationships, your achievements, even your struggles. But in the fifth dimension, these labels fall away, revealing something far deeper, the truth of who you are. This doesn't mean losing your individuality. In fact, it's the opposite. You gain a greater understanding of your unique essence, your soul's blueprint. You realize that your true power doesn't come from what you do or what you own. It comes from being. But here's where the challenge lies. The ego does not want to let go. It clings to its roles, its stories, and its need for control. Transcending the ego doesn't mean fighting or suppressing it. Instead, meet it with compassion. Ask yourself, what is my ego trying to protect? What fear or wound is beneath its need for control? When you bring awareness to the ego, its grip loosens. You begin to move beyond the false self and step into who you really are. Love, the foundation of the fifth dimension. At its core, the fifth dimension is built on love. But love in this context is not just an emotion. It is the very fabric of reality. Everything you see, everything you experience is an expression of love in some form. This can be difficult to grasp, especially when faced with pain, conflict, or injustice. But from the fifth dimensional perspective, even these experiences serve a purpose. They are opportunities for growth, for healing, and for the expansion of love itself. So let me ask you, can you find love in the places where it's hardest to see? Can you look at your challenges, your struggles, even the people who have hurt you, and recognize the lessons they have brought into your life? This does not mean condoning harm or ignoring your emotions. It means choosing to see the bigger picture, to trust that even in the darkest moments, love is working behind the scenes. This realization is the quantum leap into the fifth dimension, the understanding that you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. And with that realization comes an infinite potential to create, to heal, and to evolve. Discovering your true purpose. As we move further into the fifth dimension, one question becomes impossible to ignore. Why are you here? Why, out of infinite possibilities, did your soul choose this time, this body, this life? In the third dimension, purpose is often tied to external achievements, career success, relationships, or societal expectations. But in the fifth dimension, purpose takes on a completely different meaning. Purpose is not about what you do. It's about who you are. It's not something you find outside of yourself. It's something you remember. Your purpose is the unique frequency that only you can bring into this world. It's the energy you radiate when you are fully aligned with your true self. So if you're searching for your purpose, stop looking outward. Instead, ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What moments make time disappear? What do I feel called to share with the world? These answers aren't found in logic or external validation. They are found in feeling, in following what excites you, what moves you, what makes your soul light up. Stepping fully into the fifth dimension. By now, we've uncovered some of the most fundamental spiritual laws of the fifth dimension: presence, vibration, flow, truth, and love. But understanding these laws is only the beginning. To truly live in the fifth dimension, you must embody them. You must practice presence, align your energy, surrender to flow, live your truth, and above all, choose love, especially when it's hardest. Because the fifth dimension isn't just a concept. It's not something you visit or achieve. It's a state of being. And when you align with it, life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The universe begins to reflect your highest self back to you. Synchronicities increase. Manifestations become effortless. Peace becomes your natural state. Not because the external world has changed, but because you have. So ask yourself, are you ready to step fully into the fifth dimension? The answer has always been within you. Living in the fifth dimension, a shift from doing to being. It's not about what you accomplish. It's about who you are. It's not about chasing purpose. It's about remembering the essence of who you've always been. Have you ever felt that quiet, persistent pull inside you? A feeling that there's something greater waiting for you, something beyond the repetitive routines of everyday life. That feeling isn't your imagination. It's your soul speaking to you, nudging you towards something deeper. It's a call to awaken, to step into a higher version of yourself. In the fifth dimension, purpose isn't something you find. It's something you embody. It's not a goal you reach. It's a frequency you align with. Your purpose is woven into your energy, into the unique vibration you bring to the world. And when you fully step into that resonance, life starts to unfold in a completely different way. The law of resonance, aligning with your true frequency. In the fifth dimension, the universe functions like a finely tuned symphony, with each soul contributing its own note to the collective harmony. Your purpose isn't something external that you must chase. It's the natural expression of your unique energy. When you are aligned with your soul's truth, you don't have to force things to happen. You don't have to push through obstacles, chase opportunities, or fit into roles that don't feel right. Instead, life begins to flow effortlessly. The right people, opportunities, and experiences gravitate toward you, not because you work for them, but because you resonate with them. The universe mirrors back to you the energy you hold inside. The more you live in alignment with your authentic self, the more your external reality shifts to reflect that truth. But how do you find this alignment in a world that constantly tries to pull you away from yourself? Start with a simple but profound question. What makes me feel alive? Not what society tells you to value, not what others expect from you, but what lights a fire inside you and makes time disappear. When you follow what excites you, what brings you joy, you're not just pursuing a passion, you're stepping into the frequency of your soul. You're aligning with your purpose, the law of release, letting go to rise higher. Aligning with your purpose often requires releasing what no longer serves you. This brings us to another fundamental principle of the fifth dimension, the law of release. Imagine climbing a mountain. You can't carry unnecessary baggage and expect to reach the peak. To rise into higher states of consciousness, you must be willing to let go of what weighs you down, whether that's limiting beliefs, toxic relationships, or old versions of yourself that no longer reflect who you are becoming. But letting go isn't easy. The ego clings to the familiar, even when it causes pain, because it fears the unknown. So when faced with the choice to release, ask yourself, what am I holding on to and why? Is it serving my highest good, or am I keeping it out of fear? When you answer honestly, you'll know what needs to stay and what needs to go. In the fifth dimension, release is not about loss. It's about expansion. Every time you let go of something that's out of alignment, you create space for something greater to enter. This is the paradox of ascension. The more you surrender, the more you gain. The more you release, the more you become. The law of co-creation, shaping reality with intention. As you align with your purpose, something extraordinary happens. You become a co-creator of reality. In the third dimension, life often feels like something that happens to you. In the fifth dimension, you realize that life happens through you. You are not a passive observer. You are an active participant in the unfolding of the universe. Every thought, every emotion, every intention contributes to the collective energy of the world. Your vibration doesn't just shape your own reality. It influences everything around you. But co-creation requires two things, clarity and trust. Clarity comes from knowing what you truly desire, not from the ego, but from the soul. Ask yourself, what do I deeply long for? Not because it will make me successful, but because it feels like home. Trust comes from surrendering the how. In the fifth dimension, you don't need to control every detail of the process. When you align with your soul's resonance, the universe orchestrates the path in ways you could never predict. So ask yourself, what reality am I co-creating right now? Am I living in alignment with my soul's purpose, or am I caught in the illusions of the third dimension? The fifth dimension is always available to you, but stepping into it is a choice. It requires you to trust that your purpose is not something you must chase. It's something you already are. Living the fifth dimension, from knowledge to embodiment. At this point, we've explored the core laws of the fifth dimension. Unity, recognizing that everything is connected. Vibration, understanding that your energy creates your reality. Flow, letting go of resistance and moving with life. Truth, living in full alignment with your authentic self. Presence, anchoring yourself fully in the now. Resonance, aligning with your soul's unique frequency. Release, letting go of what no longer serves you. Co-creation, consciously shaping reality with your energy. But here's the most profound truth of all. The fifth dimension is not something you ascend to. It's something you embody. It's not a destination. It's a state of being. So, are you ready to step into the light that you already are? The law of love, the foundation of higher consciousness. At the highest level, the fifth dimension is built on love. Not love as an emotion, not love as something you give or receive, but love as the fundamental force that binds the universe together. When you live in the fifth dimension, every thought, word, and action is rooted in love. Not the fleeting, conditional kind, but the eternal truth that exists in all things. But let's be real, living from love isn't always easy. The world around us is still deeply rooted in fear, division, and pain. So how do you hold the vibration of love when faced with anger, conflict, or loss? The answer is compassion. Compassion is the bridge between dimensions. It allows you to see beyond the surface of someone's actions or words and recognize the wounded soul beneath. When you respond to pain with love instead of judgment, you dissolve the illusion of separation. You anchor the energy of the fifth dimension into the world. Serving the collective, becoming a light in the world. The final and most profound aspect of living in the fifth dimension is service. When you align with higher consciousness, your purpose expands beyond yourself. You realize that your healing, your growth, your transformation, it's not just for you. It's for the collective. Every time you forgive, every time you choose love over fear, every time you uplift another, you contribute to the healing of the whole. You become a beacon of light in a world that desperately needs it. But service doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as smiling at a stranger, listening without judgment, offering kindness where it's least expected. Small acts of love ripple outward in ways you can't even imagine. So ask yourself, how can I bring more light to the world today? The fifth dimension is within you. This isn't something outside of you. It's not something you have to wait for. The fifth dimension is already here. It exists in your heart, your soul, and the energy you bring into every moment. You don't need to ascend. You simply need to choose. Choose to see unity in all things. Choose to flow with life. Choose to live your truth. Choose to love, even when it's hard, because the moment you do, the world begins to shift. Not because it changes, but because you do.